Carol, and before I go over your actual instructions with your puppy, I have a few things I want to cover with you as far as some rules to stick to with the training and what to expect when your puppy first comes home, and some tips to kind of help you get through this initial transition period. The reason why I don't have your puppy out right now is your puppy's attention span for training is about 5 to 7 minutes. This is normal for the age that your puppy is right now. And if I have them out this whole time right now, I will burn your puppy out before I even get a chance to start on the obedience with them. So having said that, a few things I want to talk to you about with your puppy coming home. First off is generalizing. And what generalizing talks about is all dogs learn training based on the exact situation that they're in. If any element of that situation changes, the setting, the person working with them, the smells, if anything changes, the training in your puppy's mind may or may not mean exactly the same thing. And so because of this, when your puppy first arrives home, they're going to be a little bit hesitant with the training because they have not had a chance yet to generalize that training in this new setting. So what ends up happening is they act like you would if someone asks you a question that you know the answer to, but for whatever reason you can't make it come out of your mouth. Well, that's what the training is going to be like for your puppy in the beginning. And so all you have to do is just kind of coach them through it and help them through it just a little bit. And I'm going to give you some tips on that to kind of help you out with that. Now, always whenever you do training, we want to follow a couple of rules. Those rules are say it once, make it happen, make it rewarding. We say it once because your puppy's learning right now, and while your puppy's in this learning or socialization phase, we want to be certain that we teach them exactly what it is we want them to learn for the rest of their life. So we do not want to repeat commands over and over and over and over again through their entire life. So there's no point right now while they're learning these commands and repeating them over and over right now. The other thing on that is if you repeat commands over and over, all you're effectively teaching your dog is that you don't have to do what I say the first time because I'm going to repeat it over and over and over again. Second rule is make it happen. Your dog has no clue what you're saying to them in the beginning when you first start training. The only way to make certain words stick out and be special is for you to make them stick out and be special. So we want to be certain that we can always, once we say something, make it happen so that the dog learns exactly what it is we're teaching them. Now, once we do that, we need to make it rewarding. All dogs do what works for them. Now, being humans, we right away take that rule and we flip it and we go, well, if they do what works for them, they'll also stop doing what doesn't work. Well, that could not be further from the truth. Your puppy really doesn't care what you don't want him to do. He cares about what earns him rewards. He doesn't care about what you don't want, which is why a lot of people can say no to their puppy over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and they go right back and do the same thing, because bottom line is, did it work for him or did it not work for him? If it works for him, he's going to continue doing it. If it doesn't work for him, he may or may not continue doing it. So it's really important that we make the behaviors we want your puppy to do be rewarding to have been done. So we say it once, make it happen, make it rewarding. Now, right now, your puppy is in what's called the socialization or learning age. And what this means is, this is the time of your puppy's life where they are learning what the world's all about, what the rules of life are. Once they're out of this age, usually right around 6 to 8 months old, it's no longer about learning what the rules of life are. It's about changing their mind about what they've already learned these rules of life are. And so it's a real misconception for a lot of people that you should wait and train your puppy after all of their vaccinations are finished because it's safer for them. The problem with that is a lot of times they're already pretty much through this socialization age, and so they've already kind of in their mind learned what they're going to learn about life. And now not only do you have to teach them, but you have to undo everything that they've already learned. So it's really important during this age that we go ahead and set up the rules that we want your puppy to have for the whole rest of their life. Now, really important now that we make sure that we make training fun and enjoyable for them. Remember, that attention span for training is like 5 to 7 minutes. Sometimes you maybe can get 10 minutes if your puppy hasn't had a whole lot of work or is a little bit hungry. But you're not always going to get that out of the puppy. And if you push and push and push, you're going to take the fun out of the training, and that's what you're going to teach them about obedience for the rest of their life. If during this socialization age we teach them that obedience is fun and you're going to love it and you're really going to enjoy it, then as they get older, almost no matter what you do with the training, they're going to always remember and revert back to the fact that obedience is fun and they enjoyed it. So it's really important during this age to do that. Now also, if during this age you really solidify these behaviors that your puppy already knows, not jumping up, not mouthing, not chewing on stuff, that's something you will never see happen. Now, if it's something you let them get away with now and they learn in this phase that they can do it, and then later on, after they're out of this phase, you try to unteach it and you try to teach them other things, they will always revert back to this if you don't stay on top of it. So it's really important now to solidify those behaviors and keep them strong. So just work really hard at it, and I'm here for follow-up and for consultations and help if you need be. Never hesitate to pick up the phone and give me a call. Now, this initial transition period when your puppy first gets home, anything is normal. There is no rhyme or reason to exactly what your puppy's going to do or not do, because there really is just nothing. It depends on your puppy. I mean, there is no rule of thumb to it. Everything is normal during this initial transition period. We'll have some puppies go home who hit the ground running and never have a hiccup in the training, and they do great from day one, from the time they stepped off the airplane. We will have other puppies who get home and it takes 7 to 10 days before their puppy adjusts and gets through this transition period. And it really just depends on the individual personality of your puppy as to how long this will take. Because this is a big, big change for your puppy. Their whole world has been turned upside down. Some puppies act like their whole world's been turned upside down and take a little bit longer to get through it. Other puppies are pretty easy going and go with the flow, and yeah, their world's been turned upside down, but they adjust with it and do just fine. So it really varies. But while they're in this transition period, a couple things I'm going to recommend that you do that will help you get through it. Number one, realize they're going through a big change and they're going through a transition. And so be patient with them, set them up to be successful, and reward a lot. So the two big tips I'm going to give you to help you get through this transition period are, number one, keep your puppy on a leash. How long a leash you use depends on your house. If you have a really open floor plan with not a whole lot of furniture that your puppy's going to tangle up in, use a 30-foot lead. I use a 30-foot lead in my house, but I have a situation that's set up to allow me to use that length of leash. If you've got rooms that are individual rooms and there's lots of furniture that your puppy can tangle up in, then you may have to go to using like a 6-foot lead or something along those lines. Or you can use anything in between. You find what works best for you. But have a leash that your puppy's dragging around. And the benefits of that leash are, number one, it gives you the ability to back up the training. Remember, because of that generalizing, your puppy's going to be a little bit hesitant on the training. They're not going to be really sure if the commands mean the same thing in this new situation. So you want to be certain that if you say a command like leave it means whatever it is you're paying attention to, leave it alone, look back at me. So let's say your puppy's trying to get something that he shouldn't have and you say leave it. Well, in this new situation, he may right away understand it and come back to you. He may not have a clue and continue trying to get what he's doing. More than likely, he's going to hesitate and kind of think about it because that was really familiar to him. But if he doesn't get something out of you right away, he's not going to realize that it means the same thing, and he's going to go right back to doing what he's doing. That's where this leash comes in. You can grab that leash, pull him back to you, and make sure, oh, good boy, now that you reward him for it. So you can follow those rules of say it once, make it happen by using the leash, and then make it rewarding. Now, second benefit to having the leash on your puppy is you have a physical reminder to keep an eye on and watch your puppy. In most cases, you are not used to having a puppy around. You're not used to having that puppy there. You're not used to having to give feedback to and work with a puppy. And so that leash gives you a physical reminder to pay attention to and keep an eye on what is going on with your puppy right now.